Happy New Year to Swindon fans and welcome to Fools Rush In, our first record of 2022. We have a lot to discuss. What Santa brought us, Harry McKirdy scoring 1 or 2 goals, and the little matter of the FA Cup returning this weekend. But let's start with the introductions as normal. We have big time Ben with us. How are you, pal? Happy New Year.
All well, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, good. Nice festive break.
Yeah, it was all good. Good to get away. Good family things. All good fun.
All good fun. And family certainly didn't get away in the way, I should say, of the football, as we will find out later, I'm sure. Craig, Happy New Year to you, pal.
Happy New Year, mate.
And you certainly had a nice festive break, didn't you?
Oh, it was fantastic, mate. Yeah. I was. It was so fantastic. I couldn't wait to get back to work. So.
Happy New Year to you as well, Rich.
Happy New Year, Fifey. How's the ankle, mate?
Yeah. Cheers for deflecting the question away. It's a bit painful, thank you, but it's getting there. And last but certainly no means least, Happy New Year, Woody. How are you, pal?
Happy New Year, everyone. I am good. I am shiny. I am finished on a day of work, and I'm ready to go.
Excellent. That's what I like. You're all full of pep this evening. Ironic turn of phrase that was completely unintended as well. Let's get started. And there is only one place, and it's not what's coming this weekend, but what has already happened. Northampton. It was a quiet little affair, wasn't it, Rich?
It was madness, mate. Absolute madness. I don't even know where to start with that game, to be quite honest with you. I thought it was a brilliant team performance, to be honest. But I think where else to start but Harry McKirdy, who was on absolute flames. There's not much really to analyse. He was just everywhere on Saturday. And I think that combination up front with Tyree Simpson, I think it's just starting to show even more now. I mean, we started to see it. I think it was Forest Green away, where those two were like the dynamic combo sort of thing to our striking warriors. And we could see it go away. McKirdy was scoring away, but for McKirdy to break his duck at home was fantastic.
Over and over again.
Not to only just break his duck, but to score not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 goals. It's just absolutely incredible, and fair play to him. And you could tell after he scored the 3rd goal, even after the 2nd goal, he was absolutely buzzing. He was like, yeah, I'm not leaving this game without getting a hat trick at least. And he did more than that. So it's absolutely brilliant. And just other shout outs, midfield players, Jordan Lydon coming back into the team as well. I thought he was rock solid in midfield. I thought he was absolute class. Him and Reed were brilliant. And fantastic football match. And if you were a neutral, wow. Yeah, no, it's definitely a game to watch.
And someone I have to give a massive shout to is Woody, because on the pre-match predictions thread, he was all over it, telling everyone there is going to be goals in this game. And everyone else was predicting 0-0, 1-0, 0-1. You know, that there weren't many There wasn't even many Swindon wins predicted, to be fair, compared to normal. But Woody was straight in there like it's going to be 4-2, something like that. And you were right, pal.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've said 4-0 for the past 5 games to take away a bit of credit. But no, and I think in all more in that game, although it was a very good performance, it was a good performance, but Northampton came at us. I just loaded up the stats for the game. 36 shots between the two sides. They came at us. And for any opposition team that are watching this, what you need to do when you come to us is not come at us. But the difference, it makes a massive difference when teams us leaving themselves open. But with Northampton having such a good run, I didn't realise until Craig mentioned it in our chat that it was like 9-11 or something that they had won. I know they hadn't played since the 11th of December, or 18th of December, whenever it was. But it just makes a massive difference in terms of you know, when we think of really, we weren't that great against Stevenage. If I'm honest, I still don't buy the COVID stuff, if I'm brutally honest, because for me, we're not the only team affected by that. But yeah, at the end of the day, we then 3 days later, we turn around a performance like that. You know, I'll give McKirdy, everybody knows my thoughts on McKirdy. I'll give him his due. I did say in the chat that I've got with a text Rich and all that, and said, if he scores a hat trick, I said I will chant his name because he'll deserve it then. I still think he's a bit of a tool. But, you know, he took his goals and they were good goals as well. They were all good finishes. But if I'm brutally honest, take out the POS, all was absolutely quality.
Woody, sorry to interrupt. So your signal's been breaking in and out. We've more or less been able to work out what you said, but it went dead just at the point as someone was absolute quality or something was absolute quality, but we have no idea what was quality.
Woody, have you got Kieran's broadband now?
I'm gonna have to sort that out. Right, okay, hopefully it doesn't go, but it was Simpson I was on about. Simpson, take McKirdy's goals out of it. Simpson was absolutely class. The best game I've seen him play. His goal as well. Oh, what a beautiful goal that was. The build up to it, the way he controlled the ball, everything about it was absolutely fantastic. But yeah, it was just an exciting game to watch more than anything. As Rich said, if the neutrals were watching it, they would have loved it. Is it enough to make Pep Guardiola shake a little bit? Probably not. But because there are still some gaps. I think defensively we weren't brilliant. We were good, but we weren't brilliant. I really like Hunt at the back. I've liked him those last couple of games at centre back. I don't know if we're going to talk about it later, but I don't think Conroy should come back in just yet, just because of how well Hunt and Odemeyer have done. But yeah, really good game. I enjoyed it.
And so as we know, Rich was there, he really enjoyed it. Woody was there, he really enjoyed it. I was led in my sick bed with my foot in an ice pack and elevated. But seeing it on the telly, it was cheering me up a little bit. Ben, how were you able to enjoy the game?
I was at my mum and dad's. I was at my folks' house. Went and spent New Year's Eve over there, and I didn't think the game would be too much cop, to be quite honest, because Northampton are quite a big team. They score lots of set plays, and we concede a lot of set plays, and they don't concede many goals, and we ain't scored many of recent. So
it was an educated guess that it would be a dull, boring game.
Yeah, I pre-match I predicted would lose 2-0 to 2 set plays and big lads score. I was nearly right. They did get 2, so I got half the score right. But it's I don't care. I don't mind. I had a great time with mum and dad's, and I followed the game on Twitter, and I was over the moon. So hello. They might be watching actually, because I told them I'd do this, so they might have subscribed. So
well, if they are, hello to Ben's mum and dad, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to them. Hi, Dad. Hi, Mum. So it was really good following at 2-1. I threw my toys out, but they done really well. If it is true, and the more the attacking the opposition is, the better we are. We're in for a treat on Friday because Man City are going to be all out for racking up some goals against us. So, in all fairness, that could be a right humdinger. If the game is going to finish 7-4, that could be one. So it was a great listening, following on Twitter, follow the fans' reaction. I was gutted it wasn't there, but it's just nice that we've won, and hopefully the home hoodoo's gone now. Hopefully they can just put that behind them. That
was very much a 2021 thing, Ben. 2022, we're class at home.
Oh yeah, unbelievable. 100% record. And McKirdy, top scorer in the world football right now. Best striker in the world.
Craig, just picking up on a couple of points that I had noted down that particularly Woody and Rich picked up on. We were obviously going to mention McKirdy for what he achieved. I put down Simpson as well in terms of the performance and the rave reviews that he got for it. And I did just want to touch base on not so much the defending as a whole, because from what I understand, is very much in line with what Woody said. Hunt in particular getting a lot of praise, and that there is certainly a lot of promise there. But when you see the nature of the 2 goals conceded, there is still room for improvement defensively?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's one of the areas hopefully we will strengthen in. We do need another centre back, I think, in this transfer window. I mean,
have you not seen the news today?
No, I haven't actually. No, I know that we signed a goalkeeper, but
we made a signing today.
I'll talk about that.
I'll leave that with Rich then. But yeah, great if we signed a
Gary Pallister.
Sean Taylor, hopefully. But yeah, so I mean, obviously that's a makeshift defence we've had post COVID, and it's difficult when you're trying to organise. I'm guessing as a goalkeeper as well, with the defenders in front of you, and Hunt. By the sounds of it, he had a good game at centre back, but I don't think he's always been a fullback, as far as I know. So for him to come in and do well like that, that's good. And but yeah, defensively we haven't been brilliant this season. We've conceded too many goals at home. I mean, up until recently, as long as we scored more than the opposition, I wouldn't really care. And obviously that's what happened against Northampton. So hopefully we can do that in the future. And it's defensively we're still not great, but if you look at our firepower with McKirdy and Simpson scoring, and then we've got goals from Payne and Williams and everyone else in midfield contributing their bit, then we've always got a good chance of outscoring the opposition. So I'm not too concerned defensively with how we are, as long as, like I said, we score more than the opposition. And going back to what Woody and yourself were saying about Simpson, it just shows what a big difference it is when he's not in the team, because he didn't start against Stevenage, did he? And we missed that. And I think most fans, including most of us, we were dubious about him at the beginning of the season, and he took a little while to get going. But oh my God, what a difference he makes. You can tell he's a right pain in the ass for defenders at this level. They must hate defending against him. And he can score goals. He's a good finisher. I mean, he must be...
He's on 10 now, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say he must be up into double figures, and we're at the halfway point. So, we were saying we want a 20 goal a season striker, and it looks like we've got that. So, yeah, I mean, we've said on previous pods about getting another striker in the transfer window, but I think Simpson is our number one striker now, without a doubt, and Harry McKirdy sort of playing just off him, and what a player he's turned out to be.
And obviously recognition of the performance levels when you see McKirdy and Reed in Team of the Week, with Garner as well as obviously Manager of the Week. And it did see the return of Marley's alt comms, which I have to say, if you've seen it, you'll know. If you haven't seen it, please do. We've retweeted it from our Twitter account. I've done it from my personal one as well. I actually replied and said, I think that there have been some absolute quality ones, but I genuinely believe that one was my favorite alt comms he has done. I was crying from start to finish. Some of the stuff he was coming out with was incredible. So full credit for that as well. Let's bring Craig up to date then, Rich. You seem very excited to talk about the newest of the signings. So we'll come to you first.
Yeah, so Jake O'Brien. A lot of people won't know who Jake O'Brien is. Fortunately, I do.
If you've seen the pictures from Swindon's official Twitter, he looks about 9 foot tall.
Yeah, he looks about 9 foot tall.
I'm really happy to be here.
He's bigger than the he's bigger than the actual door frame. So he'd have to duck to get through the doorway. He looks like an absolute unit. Fortunately, I've actually seen him play. He plays for the Ireland under 21s, and I watch most of their games. So
So you'll be calling him English in 10 years then?
No, well, he was born in Dublin, so Cork. Sorry, he was born in Cork. So and he came from Cork. He's played men's football before. Signed on loan to Crystal Palace's under 23s, which is quite an unusual move when you look at it. When you go from a senior side, but obviously coming from an Irish team. Went on loan there for I think about 6 months. It was a loan to buy option, then got bought after 2 weeks, and then just recently signed a 3-year contract with Palace. He's
Are you writing his biography?
I could write it.
This sounds like a Ned report, the
I was
Irish
gonna say,
edition.
I'm taking Ned's book, a page out of Ned's book. Yeah, I'm filling
Ned's
in.
written this all for him. It's scripted. That's why he's looking down.
Filling in for the next report.
Rich, what do you think of Jerome Sinclair?
No comment. No,
Sorry,
but
carry on, Rich.
no, but honestly though, no, he's fantastic with his feet. He's great. Obviously, wow. If he wasn't good with his head, then I'd be very worried, because he, like you say, he is. Wow.
So this is what I wanted to ask you actually, because I read I'm in that first camp that you said I don't know him at all. You know, hands up honesty. And I read his his little speech thing on the website, and you automatically you do stereotype these people. So you know he's a centre back, and you know he's like 27 foot tall, and so you automatically assume he's been brought in to try and help with the aerial prowess. But when he described himself as, I like to play with the ball at my feet, and I'm good with ball at my feet, I was like, wow, really?
Do you know what though? I think Aidan Flint was quite like that though as well, wasn't he? So and I think we've been, and do you know what? I said to myself, obviously way before O'Brien got announced, that we need a unit at the back. We need somebody that's like 6'4", 6'5". He's like fucking God knows how tall he is. I think he's about 6'6". And he's, I wasn't quite expecting that. What I was expecting is quite an experienced player to come in. But do you know what though? He's come from Crystal Palace's academy. He's played men's football before, even though it is Irish league. It's still quite a competitive league.
Yep.
He's got great tutorage at Crystal Palace. He's come in for Ben Garner, who's obviously got very close links at Crystal Palace. And, I think, I think this is brilliant for him. I think he'll play the Garner side of football. And I think that's really good, because that does sort of fit in with Garner's philosophy. If he does like to play with his feet, fantastic. If he's great with his head, if he likes to get stuck in. And I think that's also another good thing as well, is because in League Two, you do have a lot of teams that just hoof the ball up. So if you can get that ball down, head it down, get the ball playing again, fantastic. And you know what? I think he's brilliant for this level. I think he'll be fantastic.
Whether you are doing autobiography writing or agency fees, my last question then, we spoke about aerial prowess, we've spoken about skills with the ball, pacey as well, or is that possibly the area he's slightly lacking?
It's quite tough. I wouldn't expect him to be that pacey. I don't expect him to, not for a centre back. If he's got that as well, fantastic. I've not really seen much of that in his game, because like I say, he is a centre half, and he does like to close down as well. Maybe in the opposition box, he is quite quick to get past players, but that's because he's an absolute freaking giant. And I'm sure he can. And I think also it's a really tough league as well, League Two. You've got a lot of really strong, tough players in this league that aren't exactly the same size as him. So if he can manipulate his way in the box, both boxes, fantastic, brilliant.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So I've really hoping that he's good. Obviously, on another subject, obviously it didn't quite work out for Alex Gilbert here at Swindon. I know that was going to be one of your next bits as well, Fifey. And a lot of people have given him a lot of stick.
A lot of people on this podcast have given him
a lot of people on this podcast were giving him a lot of stick. I don't. But we were giving Tyrese Simpson a lot of stick at the start of the season. But he improved with games. He got play. He was in a position where he had no choice. We had no choice to play him every week. Whereas Alex Gilbert, we had so many players playing in his position. We had Payne, Williams, Mitchell Lawson, who, by the way, I don't really rate, to be honest with you. But yeah, no, Alex Gilbert, you know, I don't think he did anything wrong. I just don't think he proved himself really. And I think that was due to a lack of games. He might not have quite worked, which is why, or quite fitted into how Ghana wants to play, which is fair enough. And sometimes it doesn't work out. Like Louis Barry at Ipswich. That didn't work out, and it's potential we might be getting him. So who knows? I mean, these loans don't always work out, and I think we've
all been around long enough to say that we could probably name a very good lone five-a-side team and an absolutely awful lone five-a-side team.
Absolutely, yeah.
Rich, you're probably too young to remember this, but you know, This Is Your Life. You could have presented that, mate.
Well, there is a bit more Gilbert chat to come, but just so we're covering all the bases, Woody, O'Brien's not the only player to sign for Swindon this week, is he?
No, we got a goalkeeper, played for Derby. He was at Portsmouth as well during pre-season, and I'm joking, I don't actually know that much about him. No, but it's you know, it's good to see. I think more than anything that we're, for so many years now, Swindon fans, we've been like, when we really desperately need players, we tend to get somebody in the complete opposite position. I mean, getting bloody midfield.
Oh no, Woody, your signal's dropping again as you're making really valid points.
Where did it drop? Am I back?
Yeah, you're back now.
You're back.
All right. I don't know why it's dropping. I'm gonna have a word with Virgin. But the yeah, you know, do
they not know how important we are?
Yeah, exactly. 500 meg broadband, my ass. If I know it's gigabyte now, I'll be having massive words. But yeah, no, it's you know, it's good that Chorley seems to be really pulling out the stops now. I mean, we needed a goalkeeper, we needed a centre back, you know, and it sounds like we're going to get Louis Barry. We needed a backup striker. Edams is an actual sign-in as well, isn't he? Because he didn't have a club, did he? I
believe he's till the end of the season. But
and he doesn't seem to be that bad, you know. And I know that Mildenhall is the type of character that would actually say if he's shit, he'll tell him I'm not interested. So he's obviously been training with us. He's done pretty well. By the sound of it, he's been here about
4 weeks, I understand.
Yeah,
he was
here
during the COVID period, and then got an actual fortnight's proper training.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so it's just good to see that we're making moves like that. And it'd be good that we've now got, you know, when Woolacott returns from the AFCON, I don't think we'll sell Woolacott this window, just because of the AFCON.
He's completely gone.
Yeah. Oh, he's back. He's back.
It just seems that every time you make a great point, Woody, you just cut out.
Do you know what? I don't think it is his Virgin. I think he's doing it for dramatic effect. We will not sell Woolacott just because the AFCON.
It makes him quite attractive.
Yeah, dramatic pause.
It makes him quite attractive. Do you want to move on to somebody else? And I'm going to try and log in on my tablet and see what's going on.
Yeah, no worries, pal. No worries. Ben, Rich mentioned it, but we have said goodbye to Gilbert. He's been no, it would be wrong to say polarizing figure. That would be unfair. He's someone who has got mixed reviews from different people in the podcast. Rich is probably been the most supportive of us, and quite rightly, because the points Rich makes are actually valid in terms of what he's seen when he's actually been on the pitch and the limited game time compared to other, particularly lone players. Limited game time he's had, but he's not going to go down as a success as such. But is there, when you look back at his time at SM1, it's not all bad, is it?
No, it's not all bad. I don't think any Swindon fan will doubt his talent and the quality that he's got. And there's no doubt he's going to have a very long, successful career in professional football and much higher standard than League Two. I think his biggest problem is the competition that he's got around him, the players that he's up against. I'd think he'd probably get into most 80% of the League Two sides and be a regular and probably one of their better players. He's not had a long run of games, which other players had. And this is his first club where he's had his first stint in men's football. And it takes adjusting. It takes a number of games to get used to the speed, the physicality, and he's got the technical side to a T. So he's just been unlucky that he's been up against players that have like McKirdy, who's been on fire, Williams, Jack Payne. He's got all these sort of players to contend with, and he's just not had a look in. And Brentford have just gone, well, he's not getting many games. He'll do better at another club, so they've taken him out. And I don't think I thought it was a decent player. He's just the right player, wrong time. But I wish him all the best at another club, as long as it's not one of our nearest and dearest.
And Craig, a prime example of what Ben's saying now, I know it's taken us a slight sidestep from what we were talking about, but I put it in our WhatsApp chat the other day. I was watching Brentford the other day, and Dom Thompson was playing. A player who came in, had an absolute blinding debut. Then as games went by for Swindon, and we all know what happened last year, but he was getting more and more criticism. And, he got man of the match against, was it Man City they were playing, I think? He got man of the match against Man City.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was probably just more of the Sheridan effect, really, on Thompson. I don't know why we signed him, because he clearly wasn't a Sheridan type player, and he had that brilliant game against Ipswich. I think that was his debut, wasn't it? And he set up a goal for I can't remember.
He got 3 assists in the game, Craig.
Oh yeah, he got 3 assists.
He got 3 assists. Yeah.
Oh, did he get all 3 assists? Yeah. So I mean, he started off on a blinder. And but yeah, as we said many times on previous posts, he got Sheridanized, didn't he? Yeah. And I think that's more down to it. It's all about right club at the right time, which is what it goes down to with Gilbert. He's at the wrong club at the wrong time. I'm glad he's gone, not because I think he's shit or good or whatever. I haven't seen enough of him. I don't think he's played enough games for us to really judge him one way or the other. But he has to go because he's filling up a loan slot that we could use for someone elsewhere that we might actually get some game time out of. And obviously from his own developmental point of view, and Brentford are good at developing players at that age, they're going to look at it. And like Ben was saying, they'll want him to go to a club where he will be playing games, especially as this is supposed to be his first team. It's not going to do him much of a confidence boost that he's, sort of been in and around. I only saw him, he came on a sub, I think it was against Carlisle. I've only been to a few games this season, but he looked all right, came on, he looked quite lively. I didn't think he looked out of place, but again, it just goes to right club at the right time with loans. And we've seen that with Swindon both ways, haven't we? With, obviously with getting Simpson in, but obviously at other points last season with Dom Thompson, like you said, it was the wrong club at the wrong time for him last season.
No, absolutely. Woody's back with us. Hopefully all working, present and correct. We come to the point where you can give us an update on how the women's team managed to do over the winter, like the winter period, if you like, Woody.
They didn't play any games. No, they didn't play any games. I mean, my girls did. We played on Sunday, lost 2-1. But
I saw your post actually. It seemed somewhat unfortunate because it was fairly late goal from what I remember.
Yeah, it was a late. It was literally, I think there was about 2 minutes left. It was the team we played first game of the season, first game of the pre-season. Like our first game together, we lost 5-2 to them then, Melksham, and then we lost 2-1, and it was very unlucky. I mean, our keeper was fouled in the process, but I'm not one that branches on that, to be totally honest.
Just throwing that out there, if any of the officials are
going to write one of those letters to the FA, like the old Ghana does.
She got kicked in the head, but unfortunately, the referee also heard me say that I was appalled by our defending. So it was one of those, where the freak, where
keeper gets kicked in the head, coach says, "I'm appalled by our defending."
Well, like those free kicks, you see them every week, don't you? The free kick gets taken, the keeper saves it, but then all of a sudden there's only opposition players anywhere near the ball, and it's going to go one way or the other. It's normally a foul on the keeper or it's offside. Yeah. And this one was neither, and it ended up in the back of the net. But no, the ladies are back in action this weekend. Development have got quite a tricky game, I think, in Warminster. Make sure I get the right W. And the first team have got Portishead, which would be quite an interesting game because that'll be their opportunity to hopefully pull away from, the bottom end of the table. So that'd be quite an interesting game to watch. But they're riddled with injuries, COVID, and all sorts at the moment. So it'd be quite be a difficult game, but if they can win, it'll really give them some ground going forward. I think I'd probably say they need 2 or 3 more wins out of the rest of the season. They'll definitely stay up then. My lot season start again away to Marlborough this weekend, so not too bad.
Oh, well, good luck to all 3 teams from us, of course. And the 3 most devastating letters of my week every week. Who wants to discuss F, P, and L?
I've not been.
Oh, hang on. Did I hear Sarah in the background there, Ben? Does she want to discuss FPL?
No, that was not her. That's not mine.
So there's definitely someone shouting in the background.
That's not.
That was probably mine. She definitely wouldn't be in any of us FPL. We don't need to worry about that.
Look at the league.
I'm not going to lie. I thought when Kieran wasn't coming, I thought we didn't need to discuss it.
Yeah, please don't, because it's just.
Kieran's still top. He had a good week. I didn't have a good week. Rich had a good week. There you go. That's all you need to know.
Yeah,
One shows how.
Chopper's
I
Kieran.
managed to make my way back to the bottom of the table yet.
No, that's still one show. One show's bottom on 894. Then it's Ned, 897. So it's tight at the bottom.
Tight at the bottom.
Then it's you, Fifey, at 938.
Oh, I've got a little bit of a gap.
Yeah. Then the unit is pulling clear at 991. Then I'm safe mid-table at just over 1,000, 1,011.
Boring, big time Ben.
Big, boring, mid-table, big time Ben. Saturday mid-table. Just above me is Woody, 40 points ahead of me.
Oh, you can catch that, Ben. Woody's been talking title aspirations. You're only 40 points behind.
Yeah, 40 points behind. Second place is Rich on...
I haven't spoken title aspirations for ages.
8 points.
I wrote it off ages ago.
8 points ahead of Woody is Rich on 1,059, so that's tight.
Tight.
And the Man City of the group is Kieran.
Kian?
Don't know who Kian is, but Kieran. With 1,132 points, a good sort of like 60, 70 points ahead of everyone else.
That's good quick maths there, Ben. Well done.
Yeah. And he's kicking ass, basically. He's doing his own thing.
But don't worry, because the wild cards are back because of the January window. So here's where we all change and start motoring up the league.
Yeah, I used mine.
Already?
Mine was pretty fine. But then I've got rid of all my, it's African nations, isn't it, starting? So
yeah, to be
everybody's
fair.
Everybody's got Salah as captains now.
Yeah.
Got to quickly swap it for De Bruyne because he's the next midfielder that's worth loads of money and you can swap them back when they get back. So.
Well, I know that you've mainly all come on to discuss Man City, but before you do, I did put a very late message out to see if anyone had any questions for the mailbag this week. And a friend of the show, Daz, has sent one in for you.
Oh, love Daz.
And don't rest assured, Woody, because I know how much you love this feature. It does actually make sense, the question. So
that makes a change.
His question is, and I will start as you appear on the screen. So Ben, you can go first.
Oh, wicked.
If Harry McKirdy knocked on your door this evening asking for help with his broken down car, would you A, invite him in and show him your Swindon Town memorabilia? B, have a look at his car and try and fix it? C, ask him for a selfie and call the AA? Or D, open some beers?
I'll open some beers.
Just that simple.
I'll open some. I don't know anything about cars, so I won't be able to fix it at all. So I'll get him in, have a beer, get the FA.
Get the FA involved.
It's a bit serious.
Get the AA out.
Not the first time he's been reported to the FA, but probably the first time for breaking down.
We'll have a good old chat about his antics this season, and yeah, I won't have a grand old time until the AA turn up.
Craig?
Sorry, what was the options again, Fifey?
It was try and fix his car, ask him for a selfie and call the AA, open some beers, and I was trying to fill time to open my phone again to find out what A was. Invite him in and show him your Swindon Town memorabilia.
I'll try and fix his car because I know fuck all about cars, so I'll probably fuck it up anyway. So yeah, I don't know, not much really there. I certainly won't invite him in my house. So no, definitely no.
Rich?
Depending on his banter, I'd probably open a few beers, but yeah, I don't know, not sure. To be fair,
I know it's blurred now.
I'd probably have a beer with anyone, to be honest with you, but no.
Oh, you've even had one with me, and not many people can actually say that.
That's true, mate. That's true. Yeah, no. Your banter was solid, though, mate.
let's not get. You must have been drunk if you're saying that.
Mate, did you see me that
says
night?
the king of banter.
Absolutely, mate. I don't remember most of the night, to be fair.
The problem is most of you don't. The good thing is I do. Woody?
I'm not sure he drives, so I'll be more concerned about why he turned out with a broken down car. And that's only because I'm pretty sure I saw him in Orbital car park earlier, getting into the back of a Mercedes. But yeah, it's what would I do? I've got a lot of women's medals I could show him, a few trophies. I could show him. A
yeah, but the problem
tournament.
is, if you said that to him at his car, he'd probably think it was a euphemism for something.
Yeah, that's true. I've even got a boys' tournament trophy that my girls' team won. So I might even show him that, and then I'll give him an empty pot of paint. But I do know a bit about cars, so I probably would pretend to be fixing it by the side of the road. But no, I'd just probably open the beers and then say, this is what you need to do, and hope he takes it in.
Well, thank you very much for the question, Daz. It's appreciated as always. Come on then, who wants to start? Man City, Friday night, under the lights, on the telly. Go. Brilliant.
All right.
Go on, Rich. Rich is itching to do it.
Come on, Rich.
I'm not actually. No, what a night it would be for the town. Not just obviously for football, but just for Swindon in general.
What a night for football! This is going to change. This is going to change football forever. This night.
I mean, they're only here to watch the town anyway, so but that's the only reason we're on TV is because everyone wants to watch Swindon. So I mean, the 1969 Cup champions. I mean, who the hell wouldn't want to? Who wouldn't want to see that?
Okay, let's paint the scene for you then, Rich.
Yeah.
Let's just see if this brings back any memories. The 7th of January, FA Cup third round, League Two Swindon Town, Premiership opposition.
Oh, I can still remember the feels and the atmosphere of when that second goal went in for us. That was just absolutely crazy day. I remember that. I was only, how old was I? 14 or 15, I think. So yeah,
you're young.
Yeah. No, honestly, I remember that. It was such a great day. And what an atmosphere it was. And I remember I was sitting because Wigan was struggling at the time, and I was like, I said to my mate, I said, do you know what? I reckon we might be able to do them here.
I went into that game and obviously, as we've said before, that date specifically is my birthday, and I went thinking, do you know what, we're going to do them here, and I have actually been going around work today saying, do you know what, history's going to repeat itself.
Oh, mate.
You know what though? I think it depends what team Guardiola puts out. He might put a team out that might just nick it like 2-0 or something like that, 2-3-0. But I mean, we're gonna go like for like with them, to be fair. So
yeah,
I mean, you just never know. But I mean, the other thing is as well, something I read today that apparently, I'm not sure which betting site it was, but they had us on Saturday before the Northampton game at 40-1 to beat Man City. That's now been slashed 20-1. After the
And
win against
there are
Northampton.
many Premier League teams who start higher than 20-1 as well.
Yeah. I mean, do you know what? Guardiola's going to be watching our game on Saturday. Actually, no, do you know what? He probably won't even give a shit, to be fair.
Just rock up, won't he?
He'll just rock up. He'll just be like, boys,
Be like,
go
boys,
do what you're going to do.
what the fuck is this roundabout?
He's like, what is this?
So I've been having conversations with various people since the draw, and I'm always the eternal optimist, generally for my own downfall. So I've brought back the spirit of Wigan. I've said, look at us, we're playing Man City, and now we're showing them what we can do by scoring 5 at home as well. So they'll be scared. I've said it's not the first time De Bruyne's career would have been ruined at the county ground.
Yeah.
I've been throwing it all out there just to try and get the positive.
I would never wish somebody to go through an ACL injury, but maybe on this occasion, considering.
Wow.
I'm joking. No, seriously.
Ruthless Rich.
No, but seriously though, yeah, let's just hope he has an absolute shocking game.
So, Woody, let me ask you, in terms of, again, the conversations I've been having with people, are you in the camp of, as long as we keep it below 10, it's respectable, or are you, we could nick a replay, we could even win this?
Well, we can't nick a replay.
I was going to say,
Yeah, I realised as soon as I said it, no, there's no replays in the third round.
Well, first of all, Guardiola will have watched the tapes because of the type of manager he is. He would definitely have watched us in one way or another.
Stones on a man marking job on McKirdy.
I'm one of those that don't think we're going to get thrashed. I don't think we've, even as much as I love the FA Cup and I love FA Cup magic, I don't think we've quite got enough to upset Man City. But I don't think that it's going to be a 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever nil. I got a feeling we might score because I just think, again, it's the FA Cup. So,
and they haven't got anyone physically capable of containing Simpson.
Obviously, I don't think anybody in the world has anybody physically capable of containing Simpson. But for a score prediction, I think it is going to be 3-1 Man City. But I do think I think they'll take it seriously. I think Guardiola would have watched us, again, because of the type of manager he is. And I think hopefully, I'm hoping that Garner doesn't set up to block. I'm hoping he sets up to just play how we played against Northampton. Because if it does, regardless of what the scoreline is, that will be an entertaining game of football, if it is.
And you say there that because of the type of manager he is, Guardiola would have watched the tapes, etc. Are you expecting let's say an 11 changes team, or more a 7 changes team, and there might be like I don't know, 1 or 2 actual regular Premier League starters playing?
I think they'll have more Premier League starters than not. Again, I think when they played Cheltenham last year, I think they named a pretty strong lineup. But it's one of those, isn't it? You look at, does Guardiola have a starting 11? Probably,
well, this is a conversation I was having at work today. He's got about 7 of them.
Yeah, I mean, Foden and Grealish are constantly on rotation for a start. You know, even his defence now. And I think the weird thing is, and it digresses a little bit to their Premiership form, but this season there's something different about Man City. They seem to know how to win. I know they were winning anyway, but now they're not. It's kind of winning's the priority, and then playing nice football's the second priority. Whereas beforehand, it's always been their nice football has won them a lot of games.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think they will have many non-normal regular starters. I don't think they might have a couple of youth players or younger players on the bench, maybe because of the opportunity. But because there's no replay, I don't think
get the job done.
I don't think he'll take the risk because you know, it's at the end of the day, the FA Cup is a Saturday competition. You know, it doesn't hinder the fixture list too much, especially for Premier League teams. And it's a potential for trophy. I mean, they're still in the Champions League as well, aren't they? So, you know, there's a treble for him, and Guardiola will want the treble, and this is a good opportunity for him to get it. So I'm expecting a strong team, possibly a 3-1 loss, but I wouldn't be surprised if we did upset them, just because it seems the Swindon way to do things. but yeah, I'm expecting a 3-1 loss, if I'm honest.
Craig, obviously we're focusing a lot of the attention on Man City here, because it's not every day we get to play a team like Man City, and I will ask you your perspective of Swindon as well. But picking up on what Woody said there, a lot of comment in the media and on social media as well is suggesting the way recent results in the Premier League have gone is it's kind of already Man City's title to lose. You know, a lot of people have already started putting their name on that trophy. Does that affect the fact that you might say, okay, well, we can go stronger in the cups now because we do have that buffer in the Premier League?
No, I don't think it makes any difference. He'd have put a strong team out probably regardless. I think this is Guardiola. I've watched the like the first couple of episodes of the Amazon series that they do on there, and you basically anyone who's written about him or played for him or coached with him, he is obsessive. You know, he is football 24/7. He is. You know what I mean? It's you know, he will go out and he will try and, you know, he'll put everything into winning the game. He'll put out a strong team, maybe not the strongest team. He will rotate some players, but he can afford to do that. So yeah, I think yeah, I can't see. It's going to be tough for us. I can't see us getting anything out of it. But I think if we keep the score below 5, that'll be respectable. You know, anything 5 or more, it's still a humiliation even against Man City. But yeah, I mean, it'll be a good day. It'll be a good game of football. It's going to be open. I think you know, Guardiola will come. What I'm concerned about is when we've had teams press us at home, we've struggled with it, and I think obviously Guardiola will probably do that to us. So it'll be interesting to see how it unfolds.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And Ben?
Yeah, I think Man City will go from something off. I think Garner's will probably sit back on a sort of a 4-2-3-1 as a guess, a sort of formation with Leiden and Reed sat in front of the back four, and they'll probably look to break a little bit. I think City are going to go for the juggler from the very first minute. Obviously, it's going to be at home. It's going to be an intimidating atmosphere. They're just going to get a foothold in the game early, just so they can get control of the game. Because
they're not used to seeing fans first and foremost, are they?
No, well, yeah, that's for one. But you know, the longer the game Swindon are competitive, the harder it gets for them. The longer Swindon are actually in the game, so of course they're going to be high press, but that will also give us the opportunity, and we have got players that can break quickly on them. And we have got players, and we will create opportunities. I actually think it will be quite an open game. And I think we will have chances on goal, and I think we will have opportunities to score. So will they, and I think they will score goals. But I could see this being sort of a high-scoring sort of 5-2, something like that. It could finish like that. I think we're in for a cracker, because I think Swindon will go to play football, and we'll try and pose ourselves, and we'll do League Two, you know, a credit. I think we will be brilliant that day, and I think we'll be proud. We might get smashed, but I think we'll play quite well. But if we do get beaten 8-0, at the end of the day, we've already won, because we've got all the cash from it. We sit there, we've earned a shed load of cash for it, and we can sit in the stands. We can watch possibly the best club team in the world right now in Man City do their thing and strut their stuff. So at the end of the day, it's hiding to nothing. You know, honestly, it's going to be great.
Right, gents. Woody has pretty much locked himself in saying 3-1 Man City. Remind me, does it, if it's a draw at 90 minutes, is it straight to penalties or is it extra time?
Extra time, I think.
I think it's extra time, isn't it?
Right. Okay. So for the rest of you guys then, what do you genuinely believe the score will be when the game is finished? I don't normally actually throw myself into these. I normally ask the questions and leave it to you guys, but I'll go first. I'm going to say Swindon will win 3-2 after extra time.
Ooh.
Ben?
I'm thinking 4-2 defeat.
Craig?
5-1 defeat.
Rich?
I think 4-1 defeat.
Right, so I'm obviously overly optimistic, and despite saying 3-1 defeat, Woody is the next most optimistic.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, realistically, I think we will probably lose, just given everything. But there's definitely, I do think we will score.
Okay, let me put it another way.
I think we'll create chances, and I think we'll have the opportunity.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Okay, one last question, and let me reword the question. So, with the exception of me, who's overly optimistic, you've all said that in all likelihood we will lose. The way I'm going to word this now is: do you believe, sitting here now, we can win? If this game was played 100 times and we lose 99 times, could this be the 1 in 100, Ben?
It's a 2-horse race. It's a 2-horse race. Anything can happen. Their keeper could get sent off in the first minute, and they can get 3 sending offs during a game.
That's better, Ben. Come on.
You don't know. It could. It's a 2-horse race, and anything can happen. We won the League Cup in 1969, beating Arsenal.
Ben needs a podium with a flag behind him now.
Yeah, you don't know. Miracles do happen, but it is highly, highly unlikely. This Man City team is a machine.
But highly unlikely is not impossible.
No, it's not.
There's always a chance.
Yes, Rich, that's better.
There's always a chance. I'm not saying that we're not, but I think.
Come on, Craig. Now you say it can happen, Craig.
It's not impossible, but it's improbable. It's improbable. That's the best you're going to get out of me.
Woody, it's down to you. You're the only one who's not said it could happen.
I'm with Craig. It's improbable, but it's the
I will
FA Cup.
take improbable over impossible. Gentlemen, thank you very much. As always, it's been an absolute pleasure to record with you. I hope every single fan in attendance and watching on TV, whether it's at home with your families, whether you're going out somewhere to watch it, enjoy the occasion of Man City at home in the FA Cup. We are hopeful, as the transfer window is open, of making 1 or 2 additions to our playing squad this month. And if you'd like to add your name to that list, then by all means get in touch on either Facebook or Twitter, and we will certainly make it happen. But from everyone at Fools Rush In, Happy New Year. Bring on Man City.
Go on, everyone.